In the previous class, we were discussing about the salt. If you know, the salt is the result of neutralization reactions. It means when acid reacts with base, it forms salt and water. We have also discussed that the salt, which is the result of neutralization reactions, it gets its cation part from the bases and anion form parts from the acids. As we have discussed, as in case of sodium chloride, this cation part is obtained from the base and the anion part is obtained from the acid. We have discussed the next property of the salts, that the first part of the salt is obtained from the base and the next part is obtained from the acid. They occur in solid state. They are soluble in water. The next, they are soluble in water. They are ionic in nature. The next, they conduct electricity. When dissolved in water. It means they form, it means they are electrolyte. What we have discussed, that the salt in solid state, they are non-conductor. As I have already discussed, that the pure acid, pure base, pure salts, these are non-conductor. They will become conductor in the presence of water. The salt, it conducts electricity when it is dissolved in water. That means it is an electrolyte. These are the properties of the salt which we have discussed. That the salt is a result of neutralization reactions, or we can say the salt is a result of reaction between acid and base. The first part of the salt is obtained from the base and the next part is obtained from the acid. They occur in solid state because they are ionic compound, Na plus Cl minus. The salt does not imply only sodium chloride. The various salts are there: magnesium sulfate, magnesium chloride, sodium chloride, potassium sulfate, sodium nitrate. Various salts are there. They occur in solid state because they have ionic bond. It means there is, in case of salt, they have force of attraction between the ions. They are soluble in water. They are ionic in nature. They conduct electricity when dissolved in water. It means they are electrolyte. Next to that, we will discuss that the name of salt is derived from the name of the acid by which they are produced. For example, we have the salt point A, salt of hydrochloric acid. The salt of hydrochloric acid is termed as chloride. The next, salt of sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is termed as sulfates. Next one, salt of nitric acid termed as nitrates. Next one, salt of carbonic acid is termed as carbonates. Salt of acetic acid is termed as acetates. What we have discussed? We have discussed that the name of the salt is derived from the acid from which it is produced. It means what we see here, when sodium hydroxide reacts with hydrochloric acid, then this salt is termed as chloride salt. If magnesium hydroxide reacts with hydrochloric acid, it forms magnesium chloride. That is also termed as chloride salt. It means if salt is produced as a result of neutralization by hydrochloric acid, then that is termed as chloride salt. If the salt is result by neutralization by sulfuric acid, then it is termed as sulfate. If the neutralization of base is occurred by nitric acid, it is termed as nitrate. If the neutralization of the base is occurred by carbonic acid, it is termed as carbonate. If the neutralization of the base is occurred by acetic acid, it is termed as acetate. This is how we discuss that the name of the salt is derived from the acid which neutralizes the base. We will discuss the family of salt. It means the salt having same anion or same cation belongs to the same family. For example, if we take an example of sodium chloride and magnesium chloride, then in that case what we see, the anion part of the salts are similar. That is chlorine. Therefore, they belong to the same family and their family is termed as chloride salts. It means what we have, the salt having same cation or same anion belongs to same family. Let us discuss family. Family of salt. The salt having same anion or same cation belongs to same family. For example, if we are discussing NaCl, next MgCl twice, KCl, CaCl twice, what we see, they have similar anion part. What they have? They have similar anion part and known as chloride salt. They have same anion part and belongs to same family. To the next, we will take, if we have NaCl, if we have NaBr, if we have Na2SO4, if we have NaNO3 twice, what we see, they have same cation part. They have same cation part. They have same cation part, and therefore they belongs to same family known as sodium salt. In the same way, we have another, such as if we have magnesium chloride, magnesium sulfate, then they have same what? They have same cation part. Therefore, they are termed as magnesium salt. If we have the next one, if we have what? Na2SO4, MgSO4, CaSO4, P2SO4. What we see, that they have same anion part. Therefore, they are termed as sulfate salt. By this discussion, what we know? We know if the salt having same cation or same anion, it means the salt having same cation and same anion belongs to the same family. This is what we discussed. Now we will discuss the pH of salt solution. We know that when acid reacts with the base, salt is formed. But it is not necessarily that the salt having pH 7 or it is neutral. But what we have, the salt may be acidic, the salt may be basic. It means the nature of salt, whether it is neutral, alkaline or acidic, it will depends upon the acid and base from which it is produced. Let us discuss that. What we are discussing, pH of salt solution. So first, what we are discussing, the pH of sodium chloride NaCl is 7.0. The next one, pH of ammonium chloride NH4Cl, it is 6.0. The third one, pH of sodium carbonate is 9.0. What we know, the sodium chloride is neutral, ammonium chloride is acidic, and sodium carbonate is basic in nature. It means the salt which are result of neutralization reaction is not necessarily neutral. It may be acidic, it may be basic, it may be neutral. Let us discuss why this is so. The first we will discuss the sodium chloride. When we dissolve sodium chloride into water, then in that case, when we dissolve sodium chloride into water, then in that case, that the sodium chloride, it is result of neutralization reaction with the strong acid and strong base. What we are discussing? We are discussing the salt of stronger acid acid and stronger base. It result into neutral salt. For example, we know sodium chloride is result of NaOH. When react to HCl, it forms NaCl plus H2. Since what we know, sodium hydroxide is a strong base and hydrochloric acid is a strong acid. Since the sodium chloride, it is a result of reaction between a stronger base and a stronger acid. Therefore, sodium chloride is neutral. And its pH is what we know? We know sodium chloride is a result of reaction between strong acid and strong base. Therefore its aqueous solution is neutral. We have another example. For example, we have K2SO4, we have KCl. They are termed as stronger salt. To the next, we will discuss the salt of stronger acid and weaker bases. The salt, which is result of neutralization between stronger acid and weaker bases. Then, on hydrolysis of this salt, it produces acidic solution. For example, if you take ammonium chloride, the next one, salts of what? Stronger acid and weaker bases. Let us discuss the salt of ammonium chloride. When ammonium chloride NH4Cl, when it is dissolved in water, then it will form what? It will form NH4OH plus HCl. We know this is weaker base and this one is stronger acid. This weaker base, it does not dissociate completely in the solution. It does not dissociate completely in solution and giving lesser number of hydroxide ion. But in this case, this acid is stronger acid which will dissociate completely. When it will dissociate completely, it will give larger amounts of proton. What we see here in this solution, it has lesser number of hydroxide ion, that is OH minus, it is lesser than H plus, because H plus, it is result of dissociation of hydrochloric acid, which is a stronger acid. What we see on hydrolysis of ammonium chloride, ammonium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid is produced, and hydrochloric acid, being stronger acid, produces more H plus ion in comparison to ammonium hydroxide, which is weaker base, produces lesser H plus OH minus ion. Hence, this solution is The solution is acidic in nature. What we have that when a salt of a stronger acid and weaker bases dissolve in water, then it produces what it will produce is a stronger acid and a weaker base. We know a stronger acid has greater degree of dissociation and hence give large amount of protons in comparison to a weaker base which does not dissociate completely and hence giving lesser amount of hydroxide ion. As a result, the hydroxide ions are less than H plus in the salt solution. Therefore, its pH is less than 7